Should you invest in Bitcoin? Let's talk about it. What is up, Money Bros? I'm your host, Thomas, and today we are going to be talking about Bitcoin and whether or not it's a good investment, some of my thoughts on it as I've explored it, and what I think you should be looking for if you're deciding whether to invest in Bitcoin right now or hold off. So, Bitcoin, it's been around for a while now, but it has been a very volatile investment or preservation of cash, right? A lot of people have bought into it as it's got more popular and well known. 2 years ago, it had its moment where it just went from around $1,000 and it jumped up to $18,000-$19,000 at its peak. And then it crashed back to the earth and landed around a few $1,000s, if I remember right. It took some time after that to start building back up. And we're at now its all-time high the last few weeks. So a lot of people are interested in, and it does not matter where you go on YouTube. You're going to find other people. They're going to give you guidance, and then they're going to tell you to buy Bitcoin. And so I think it's important to take a step back and to look at it and think about what kind of returns you can expect with Bitcoin and what are the risks. So one of the theses is that Bitcoin is a store of value like gold. It's kind of like the new gold like gold or other forms of preserving your wealth. And there's some truth to it, and it has merit, but it also has some serious drawbacks as a store of wealth. For one, if you look at China right now, China technically has a strange relationship with Bitcoin. They're not huge fans of it. They've opened up a little, but they've also banned it. So the issue with Bitcoin is you need to be able to convert it into cash or into some form of money, right? Currency or value. And Bitcoin is limited. If you go back and look at it originally, there's a maximum amount of Bitcoins that will ever be produced, which is one of the reasons why it gives it some scarcity and value in that way, but also limits its ability to be a form of a currency, right? Because every time you buy something with Bitcoin, it takes a lot of processing power because it's decentralized, where all the nodes and everything have to connect and process each of these transactions, which is not a very efficient form as a currency. So if it can't be used as a currency necessarily to replace dollars, then where does its value come from? And that's kind of the question that everybody's been trying to figure out, and what a lot of the Bitcoin bulls and enthusiasts really believe in it as a store of value. So people are looking for the next dollar, the next form of currency. And Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has really caught at people's imaginations. On one hand, dollars and cash has already gone digital for the most part, but they haven't fully embraced cryptocurrency and the ledgers that offers. In the US government, when they produce money, they print and form so much amount of coins and dollars, but really most of the money that's created, especially in this last year during the pandemic, has been digital. They just changed the tally in the computer system, and that's how money is created now. There's two things you got to figure out. Are you trying to store your value? Are you trying to hedge? And is Bitcoin a place to hedge your money? And the second is Bitcoin a good return on investment? Is it a good investment? So when you look at an investment, you have to decide, is it worth the risk? You have to compare it to other investments. When you make a big investment, you want a big return, your risk goes up. And that's kind of the traditional understanding. And with Bitcoin, the issue is it's so new still, and it has not been proven long enough that the risks are high. And as I looked at it with my brother, he pointed out to me that Bitcoin, as even if it goes to $500,000, in 5 years, let's say 5 or 10 years. That is not the exponential growth that you would have had if you had invested at $20 or bought Bitcoin at $50 or $100, because it went up hundreds or thousands of percent. But now you're only getting a limited return, but you're taking on a lot of risk, a lot more risk, because buying a $20,000 Bitcoin is a lot more expensive than buying a $200 Bitcoin. But your risk has gone up exponentially and your returns have gone way down. And this is just common with a lot of investments in stocks. If you had bought Amazon or Apple and held on for 10 or 15 years, your cost to get in was a lot lower. Your returns are much higher, but your risk is a lot higher now if you try to get in on these same stocks. There's a case to be made for Bitcoin because how many people are buying into the idea, giving it value, giving it weight, right? On the other hand, is it a good store of value compared to gold? Gold has been going up during the pandemic. It's really taken off in some ways, but at the same time, it's never going to skyrocket and give you huge returns in the same way that a skyrocketing stock or Bitcoin or currency or something is going to give you as far as returns. My thought is I am sitting this one out for now with Bitcoin. I may buy in later, but ultimately, what is protecting Bitcoin from going to 1,000 or zero? What could happen? My biggest concern is governments getting involved and restricting, basically banning Bitcoin. Because if you can't exchange Bitcoin into whatever currency is present, whatever is current, then that really restricts your ability to give it value or to do anything with it. And is there a big enough market that if you can't convert it into cash, that other people are going to still exchange it as currency? And I don't know. I am very skeptical of that. There's a lot of Bitcoin bulls out there. And this is just one I don't know how to jump in on, especially at $20,000, $18,000, $15,000, whatever the current price is per Bitcoin. So those are my thoughts. I think if anybody wants to convince me otherwise, I'm all ears. But I look at the general market that there are other forms of investment that are a lot more promising. And so is it the ride you want to take? Is it the risk? Go out and do the homework. Go and find out for yourself and decide if it's, just do some quick numbers of if it goes to 100,000, if it goes to 500,000, what kind of return is that, and how long do you expect that to take? I'm going to sign off and say, buy more Bitcoin if you dare. Peace.